Madridistas, in a place that we haven't got a win since 2017, Real Madrid finally breaks the streak and we defeat Villarreal today 2-1 with a Kylian Mbappe brace. Just a beautiful, beautiful brace for the Frenchman. In this video, we're going to be recapping the game, tell you some of my thoughts, my player ratings, and of course, my man of the match. But before we get started, if you're new around here, I'm Dally with Dallyfc. I cover all things Real Madrid. At the end of the video, if you like the content, please hit that subscribe button. Right now, guys, smash that like button, helps you out a ton, and let me know in the comments who was your man of the match. So Madridistas, coming to this game, I made my match preview. You can check it out here. I was pretty close. I might have mentioned a Kylian Mbappe brace in it, and I might have mentioned as well, I said, I don't believe that Vinny Jr. would be getting the start in this one. And Carlo Ancelotti, must have watched the video, guys, because this was the starting 11 that Carlo Ancelotti put out there. Rodrigo, Kylian Mbappe up top, Jude Bellingham, Camavinga, Fede Valverde, Brahim Diaz getting the start in the midfield. Fran Garcia, of course, because Ferland Mendy is out. Raul Asensio, Tchouaméni, Lucas Vazquez, and Thibaut Courtois in the back. This was a lineup that I kind of liked. And I wasn't that surprised to see Vinny not getting a start. Apparently, he didn't train the day before, so he's just coming back. Did he play a ton in the one before? He did, so it's not that surprising. The surprise also was Rudiger not getting the start. At the same time, it was good to see, especially with Ramadan going on, and he's fasting, it was good to see Rudiger get some rest in this one. Now, unfortunately, what continues to be just an issue after issue is we start off these games so slow. And unfortunately, kind of like what happened in the second leg of the Atletico Madrid match, Villarreal capitalized early, and it's from a thing that we continue to be a little bad at. Maybe not even a little bad, really bad at. And that, of course, is corners and set pieces. In the beginning of this game, it's Real Madrid getting a little momentum, and then it's all Villarreal. And Villarreal has a couple opportunities, and then it is a cross into the box, and it's Voith, if I said his name correctly. Oh, well, and he gets it, and it goes over a couple different players. Tchouaméni should have been there, and maybe even Raul Asensio. And this is kind of the thing. We are not that big a team. And coming up to teams who cross it a lot, we'll be talking about a lot more about it coming up with Arsenal. Arsenal love to cross the ball, and so it continues to be one of the weakest points of this team. We're just not tall. We are not aerial threats at all. And we really need to get a lot better because Villarreal, they take advantage, and they go up 1-0 in the 7th minute of this game. Now, just a little bit later, it is Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe finally gets on the board after a little quiet streak for him. But the ball comes a little bit deeper. Kylian Mbappe has a laser pass to a Brahim Diaz. And when I say laser pass, this ball had so much heat to it. Perfect first touch from Brahim Diaz. Brahim Diaz brings it down, and he tries to do a little chippy chip over the goalkeeper, but it gets denied, gets passed back out to Kylian Mbappe, and Kylian Mbappe is there, and he smashes it into the back of the net. Beautiful, beautiful finish from Kylian Mbappe through a couple of different Villarreal defenders. And really, this is what we need to be seeing from Kylian Mbappe. Very happy that he has the confidence to smash this ball in the back of the net. And I like that he was playing a lot deeper. This is one of the things. I make these match previews because I'm telling you what's going to be happening. I'm telling you what should be happening. Kylian Mbappe, instead of being a lot more like a true number 9, he's never going to be a Haaland. All right? They are completely different players, even though they might be technically playing the same position. What's happening is instead of Kylian Mbappe sitting here waiting for a cross to come in, he's dropping deeper. And what this allows is he can kind of scope out what he wants to be doing. If it's a pass to a Brahim Diaz like what he did in this one, then he has the option to kind of fall back and come a little more. It's not the best thing, but at the same time, you have 3 left wingers out there most of the time when it's VMR. You kind of have to adapt, and I think Kylian Mbappe is adapting great because he has 31 goals so far for Real Madrid. Remember this being his worst season ever? 31 goals is, if that is his worst season ever, that's fine with me. That is fine with me. Now, just a little bit later, 6 minutes later now, it is Kylian Mbappe again, and again, mentioning it, he's deeper. He is in a deeper position. He passes the ball out wide, and it is Lucas Vazquez who passes it back in, and then it is Kylian Mbappe once again at the top of the key, and this is honestly just the fault of Villarreal here. Kylian Mbappe gets the ball top of the key, top of the box, and it's a beautiful, basically, shot just right into the far right corner. And here's the thing, Villarreal, they kind of choked at this moment because all the defenders were like way too close to the goal. Nobody was actually on Kylian Mbappe in this one. I'm surprised that he was that open. Kylian Mbappe should never be that open, but I will happily take advantage of that. And that was a beautiful goal. Unfortunately, that's the rest of the goals for the game. But we'll kind of talk about a couple other things. At halftime, couple things I liked. Kylian Mbappe was absolutely fantastic. And Thibaut Courtois, even though he gave up the goal in the first 7 minutes, he was better and better in this game. And at the same time, defensively, we were just kind of lapsing a little. Too many opportunities for this Villarreal team. When we take a look at some of the stats at halftime, take a look with me. 9 shots from Villarreal with 6 on target. And they're just honestly peppering Courtois. They're just peppering Courtois with so many shots. Now, a lot of them are coming from outside the box, and especially this area too. A lot of shots were coming here. And not all of them. A lot of them are getting blocked too. Or they're kind of an easier shot for Courtois to save. At the same time, Courtois did make a couple of saves in this game, and I was very happy. It's always a scheduled tweet for me saying thank you, Courtois, because we have to thank Courtois because he is, I think, underappreciated how good he is, and he was fantastic today. Very, very happy with him today. Now, in the second half, again, guys, 2-1 is already the score. That is the game. But a couple of things happened. Vinny comes on, and Rudiger comes on as well. But the confusing thing, and this is something I need somebody to explain it to me. Vinny and Rudiger come on for Asensio and Brahim Diaz. And at this moment in time, Tchouaméni has a yellow card in this game. Now, luckily, he doesn't pick up another yellow card. But somebody explain to me the logic that Carlo Ancelotti has to say, okay, the commentators were talking about it. They're saying, okay, yeah, they need to be bringing on Rudiger for Tchouaméni, make sure that we don't, mess with that yellow card. Instead, Carlo, I don't know what you're doing, mate. Carlo brings on Rudiger for Asensio instead of Tchouaméni, who has the yellow card. I will never understand that. And so maybe that's just something, maybe Carlo doesn't understand it either. I don't know, but somebody explain that to me. Let me know in the comments. Very curious to hear from you. Modric comes on for Rodrigo. Fede Valverde comes off for Artigul, and that's going to be something I want us to be monitoring. I was tweeting out my thoughts too, saying Fede Valverde was calling. He was putting his hand up and saying, like, sub me off. That's something I'm a little concerned about. Hopefully it's nothing serious from Fede Valverde. He seemed to be fine. He maybe just picked up a knock or something like that. I would personally, I don't value international breaks other than for rest. Like, I don't really want the players. I don't want them going to England, going to Brazil, going to Uruguay, stuff like that, going to France. I would prefer them getting some rest, especially toward the end of the year where we have Champions League coming up, quarterfinals. We're fighting for the race of the title as well in Spain, in La Liga. I would like us to be resting instead. Couple issues toward the end of this game. We had so many opportunities to really put this game away, and that's kind of been the issue with this Real Madrid team. In the second half, we had multiple opportunities, but at the same time, it's only creating 3 shots in total. And so many, Fede Valverde from far out wide, it's weak. Kylian Mbappe gets blocked, and Arda Güler sent this ball. Who even knows? Who even knows? But there was multiple different times where Vinny and Kylian Mbappe were on the fast break, and I don't know. I don't know what's happening right now with the connection. There was a couple passes. Vinny could have passed it to Kylian Mbappe. He took a little too long. At least 3 times. 2 for sure. Maybe even 3. Maybe even more than that in the second half when Vinny came on. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just lost for words sometimes with the connection or the lack thereof connection. And I think it can be better. And I think it's just really frustrating to watch, especially because you can see the opportunities there. They're not going to show up here in the stats, but there was one right through the middle of the park. There was one on the left wing where it was 2-on-1, and we're just not capitalizing. And when we take a look at Villarreal toward the end of this game, 14 shots with 4 on target. They are peppering us. This is an even game in the second half. And we are lucky to be getting out of this game with a 2-1 victory and getting the 3 points and moving forward, because this is not an easy place to play. Again, I mentioned it in the beginning of this video. We haven't won there since 2017. Think about that. I believe Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale were still playing for Real Madrid back then. That was 8 years ago. So I think at the same time, is it kind of a frustrating game where we don't capitalize on our opportunities? It is. But at the same time, this is a good Villarreal team. They are 5th in La Liga right now. Again, as of at least recording of yesterday. They're in 5th in La Liga. We haven't won there in 8 years. So for me, getting a win today, even though it was frustrating at times, is a win for me as well. And it makes us even more in the hunt for the first place in the title. Again, back-to-back titles I would love to have in La Liga. But guys, that's my thoughts on the game. Let me tell you some of my thoughts about some of the players in this game. And again, give you my man of the match. Now, starting in the back, this could easily be your man of the match. I think it's really between 2 players. I will tell you right now, Kylian Mbappe, Thibaut Courtois. Thibaut Courtois was fantastic in this game. 9 saves. Now, the issue is, and I know a lot of you guys have mentioned it before, saying if the goalkeeper is the man of the match, that was not a good match. He is not my man of the match, but man, he was just fantastic. Other than giving up the goal, which really wasn't his fault, the cross comes into the box, And there's nowhere that Thibaut Courtois could do. I guess you could be saying maybe he could go challenge it more. I think maybe that's the one thing, that if we're going to be so bad in the air, maybe Thibaut Courtois has to be a little more aggressive when these corners come anywhere near him in the 6-yard box. That's maybe something that we could be adjusting for. And maybe Thibaut Courtois, he just has to start trusting himself more than others, which is unfortunate to say, but that's kind of what needs to be happening. Again, Thibaut Courtois, 9 saves in this game. I'm going to go a 9 for Thibaut Courtois, getting those 9 saves. I thought he was incredible. Multiple fantastic saves in this game for Thibaut Courtois. Now, in the back four, Fran Garcia. I thought Fran was pretty solid today. There was a couple opportunities in this game that they were getting by him, but defensively, I thought he was holding up pretty well. He wasn't helping that much on the attack. He was a lot more defensive-minded in this game. And I'm not sure if that's kind of tactically something that Carlo wanted or that's just kind of how the game went. But I thought Fran Garcia was solid overall. I'll give him a 7.5 for me in this. Raul Asensio, I thought he was fine. He doesn't play the full 90 minutes in this game. He was 2 for 2 on ground duels. I'll probably go like a 7.4. I thought he was fine. Nothing fantastic. Tchouaméni, I thought he was okay. This was probably one of the worst performances in the past 5 or so games for Tchouaméni. He wasn't great. He did do okay, but you could probably blame him. Probably he's the number one culprit for the goal for Villarreal in this one. I'll probably go like a 7. Just not a fantastic game. But somebody who I did think actually had a pretty good game was Lucas Vazquez. He does get the assist in this one, and he probably could have even scored a goal. Not this one. There was an opportunity in the game earlier. And the thing with Lucas Vazquez is he does offer a lot on the attack. I think he helps out, kind of spread out and add a little more width to us on attack. But unfortunately, what happens, he gets too far upfield. And what happens then is he has to backtrack. And the thing with Lucas Vazquez, he doesn't have the legs. He comes all the way up here. And this is usually where he is in an attacking position. But if we lose the ball here, then you are asking Fede Valverde to make the run to the right back. And that's not always the easiest thing, especially if Fede Valverde is even more upfield. That's why we can't be having him in the Champions League. I do think he might be a good substitute that we can have moving forward. But I thought Lucas Vazquez was pretty solid today. I will probably go with like a 7.9. I thought he was pretty good. Fede Valverde today, he was fine. I thought he was pretty good in the midfield. He's just solid. He's just solid all around. I'll probably 7.5 is what they gave him. I think that's fair. I would have liked to see a couple more opportunities for him. He had both of these opportunities here. And there was one, too, right here where my mouse is. Might be super small for you. Where it was a beautiful pass from Vinny Jr. to Fede. And I'm like, Fede, smash this ball. And it could have been a handball. Guys, let me know. Should that have been a handball? The Villarreal player was sliding and his hand was in the back. Some people were saying he was sliding. Some people, like myself, were calling for a penalty. I don't know what a penalty is anymore, but I would have liked to see Fede Valverde smash that ball, but he was a little too conservative on that one. 7.5 is what I will give Fede Valverde. I thought Camavinga was good today. Continues to be pretty good. 4 for 5 on long balls, 88% passing. And then he was 6 of 11 on ground duels, but 2 for 2 in the air. I thought he was solid, just a little better than Fede Valverde, in my opinion. 7.6 for me for Camavinga. The front three, instead of Kylian Mbappe here, not the greatest day. I think this kind of goes all around. Rodrigo had a really good opportunity right before halftime in this. But other than that, man, he was just, I don't know. I don't know. I expected a lot more from him playing on that left wing. Just wasn't a great day for me. I'll probably go like 6.7. I didn't think it was great. I thought Jude was fine. Wasn't super involved, it seemed, on the attack as much as I thought he would be. I thought his passing was pretty good. Just not a great day. Probably 6.9 is what they gave him. I think that's a fair rating. 6.9 for me. Brahim Diaz, had the little chippy chip that he tried. If he would have put that in the back of the net, it probably would have been like a 7.2. It's just not a good day for Brahim Diaz sometimes. And I think that's kind of the thing. When we look at Brahim Diaz and the times that he's come on and he's been good and been like influential, he's coming on, he's playing like that 10 role. He's playing a lot deeper in the middle of the park. What happens, though, for Brahim is he's playing that right wing. It's the same thing that happens to Arda Güler. They are not wingers. They are not wingers. As much as that we like to have them be wingers, and as much as we try to put them out there, they're not wingers. They are 10s. Both of them are 10s, and they need to be in the middle of the park with attackers in front of them. That's not what Brahim Diaz is, and that's not what Arda Güler is. Unfortunately, that's kind of what you need to be doing sometimes with them. Instead of seeing Brahim Diaz getting these starts next year, if, like, for some reason, let's say Vinny's hurt or if Rodrigo's hurt, I would love to be seeing Endrick getting the start, playing that right wing position, or maybe playing that striker. Maybe we could put Rodrigo back there and maybe Kylian Mbappe here. That's what I want to be seeing moving forward, because that's really where I think that we can be even better moving forward. But not a great day for Brahim Diaz. I mean, he does get subbed off too. I'll probably go like a 6.3. Just not a good day. However, Somebody who did have a great day and was my man of the match was Kylian Mbappe. Man, Kylian Mbappe sometimes he just has it. And in this game, in the first half at least, he just had it. I think he could have even had 4, maybe even 5 goals in this game if the passes were just a little better. He at least should have had a hat trick. He should have had the third. But man, he was absolutely cooking in the first half. Both goals by him were absolutely beautiful. I thought his positioning was so much better too than what we've seen from it in the past. So many other times in the past couple of games, especially the Atletico Madrid match, he's kind of just getting stuck there and getting double teamed. And I don't like it. Drop a little bit deeper, control the ball a little more, and let's shoot the ball. He only had 3 shots in this game again. But there could have been a couple more passes from Vinny in the second half that really could have made this game, put it away. Could have been 4 or even 5 goals for Kylian Mbappe in this one. But I really loved what I was seeing from him today. The movement from him I thought was very good. And yeah, just a very, very good performance for him today. 9.2 for me for Kylian Mbappe today. And again, was my man of the match. So guys, let me know in the comments who is your man of the match. Guys, unfortunately though, it is now international break. We will not be playing for a little bit now, but if anything breaks with Real Madrid, I, of course, will be making more videos as well. And we might even be doing a live stream and maybe even a chat with you as well, and maybe even a call-in show. So, guys, stay subscribed. Hit that like button for me. I really much appreciate it, guys. Can't wait to be chatting with you again right after international break. So, hopefully, for all the Madridistas out there, we stay healthy and we can continue to get better and better. And when we come back, we can start winning a little more La Liga games and continue our domination and hopefully our quest for number 16 in Champions League, guys. So again, Dally with Dallyfc, thank you very much for watching the video, guys. Cheers. Real Madrid.